Committee meeting at 4:30 on Tuesday, November the 19th. And the sheriff just peeked in of the 2024. I'm calling the meeting to order. And the roll has been taken and approved. And we need to approve the agenda with the modifications of, here's the modifications. On old business, B, speed limit for the county rural roads. And then on new business, we want to talk about a grant under 7A that Benton's going to present to us tonight, and that's the things I have on the agenda that need to be changed.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the changed,
Second.
the added items.
Motion approved. And second, any questions? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. We don't have anybody from the public, so we don't have any public comments. Has everybody looked at the previous minutes from the last time? Does anybody have any questions about it? I need a motion to approve those
I'll
minutes.
make a motion.
Got a motion
I'll second
made
that.
and seconded by Joe Mike. Any discussion on it? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion approved. Let's go to old business, number 6A, reviewing and approving the county road list. And Benton has got us all a new list for us to approve. And he's got that on there, don't he?
Yeah, the district. I like that. Thank
Boy,
you.
Benton, you
Wow,
did so
yeah.
good.
Or the
Thank-
people
thank-
in the
thank-
office.
Thank Michelle, yeah. Thank Michelle.
Well, we'll just have to do that because that
No,
is
we-
very helpful.
We called the state and they were happy to
That's
do-
good.
put that in.
Yeah, I
for
like that, that's good.
Over there, next to last column,
us. Mhm.
Commissioner District.
Yes.
I like that. Now people ought to be able to get that right there and know exactly where, what roads is what and what district. I like that. So we're gonna need. Is
Make a
everybody looking
motion that
at-
we accept the road list.
We have a motion made to accept the road list as presented.
I second the motion to accept it.
We have a second. Any discussion? Besides we appreciate getting the
Thanks for the
districts on there.
Yes.
For sure. Cool. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Let's go to item 6B, which is an old item that we need to discuss, and it is the speed limit for rural roads. This is something that's been going on for this discussion probably since April of 1991. So I'm doing this for me because I know what I've done that way. Okay. So here's our dilemma. You know, right now, I think if a road is not marked, I think state is at 55.
55.
If it's not in the rural roads. 55 is a little too fast for a lot of these rural roads. I mean, I don't have a problem with, but are we gonna wind up having to post them? And if we are gonna have to post every one of these, do you know, Chad?
If the
Sheriff,
road is
sorry.
not posted, it is assumed to be 55 mile an hour.
Okay, so that means we would actually have to post any road, if we come up and say, okay, we're gonna make all the rural roads 45 mile an hour. Benton?
You know, it's 55 now, we all know that. If we changed to 45, well, we all know that it's 45.
We changed
True,
it to 45 out of this committee some years ago after I became sheriff, but it never went before the full legislative body, best I
Okay.
remember.
That's right.
That's what I had
And
thought.
it was talked about then, I was told, have you got an old resolution?
Yeah.
I've got an old one
Very
that
old,
says 35 mile an hour for all trucks over 2 tons. was approved by roll call.
In
That-
nineteen
There wouldn't
ninety-one.
say anything
91.
else.
So,
Well, it says a motion by Commissioner Creek at that time, which was Vance Creek, and second by Brian, and the resolution authorizing speed limit on all rural Coffee County roads to be 35 mile an hour for all trucks over 2 tons, and was approved by roll call. So it really doesn't say a speed limit for every cars. As long as your truck is under 2 tons, you can run 55 mile an hour.
right.
But right now, we're getting a lot of, I guess, complaints about it.
Well, we've been getting complaints ever since I've been in office, and that's been over 10 years, so. And it's not just 55 in Coffee County, it's at 55 statewide, and it's kind of a state rule, is that not right, Chad?
Yes, sir.
So us changing ours to 45, I guess, would not necessarily, unless we did some kind of big ad campaign, nobody would know it by looking at the law. And I don't know where you would look to find out it was 45. I had a state trooper come in the office and said, is it 45? I said, I think they changed it to 45. Said, if you got the meeting minutes where they approved it, and we couldn't find them, so
And it
didn't
never
done.
went through the full commission.
Yeah, it never, I was in the committee meeting when it happened, and it never made its way up to the full body.
I'm just hoping there's some way that we can do this without posting signs,
Yes.
cause it's gonna be
Cost a
terribly
fortune.
expensive.
Yeah, you're talking about just to buy the sign and the post, $150. I mean, I think somewhere in there. What do you think, Ben?
And
Somewhere,
that-
do you
and
think
that
that's close?
And there would be, I don't know how many road miles we got, but
Oh,
we'd at
Lord.
least double that. I mean, the number of roads. We'd at least double we'd have to at least put one on each end of the road, or if a dead end, we wouldn't have to, but, I don't know how many roads we got on that list, but there'd be at least one on each road.
As far as addressing how fast, I've seen some grain trucks this harvest season just about take the sides out of some school buses. Going around blind curves and, I mean,
It's gonna be tough.
So if we came up with a resolution, and we did change it, and it gets through the full commission to 45, that means we would have it as a countywide 45, but if we don't post it, they can run 55 mile an hour. Now, it would give him a way to sit there and, if you have a person who's just totally complaining about the road, the speed on the road, and it's just from point A to B, and he could go out there and maybe put up 2 that says 45. Now, that's the only thing I would see that would be helpful for Benton in his group. But besides that, I don't think the county I don't know that, well,
I think if you do 45 miles an hour, you're gonna have to post them all, because if not, when the sheriff's department stops somebody, it's not gonna be a
Exactly.
posted speed limit. So then you've got into the legality. If it's not posted, I didn't know.
Yep.
Then the judge will drop it, so you're wasting time and money. If people would drive sensible, which they don't, but
Another thing's gonna come up, folks, is, somebody somewhere, more than one, are gonna say, that's 45 still too fast, I want mine to be
Always.
15.
yeah, always.
It's gonna happen, it don't matter what we do.
and you can't cause congestion on like Maple Springs Road or some of these roads that you get them down to 35 miles an hour, you got traffic backed up.
Yeah.
And that road, you could drive 45, 55 miles an hour, and I understand like my little bitty pig path road, you can't. Oak Hill Road, I live off of it, it's probably like a racetrack down through there. Straight, 55 miles an hour probably, or better. I don't know if it's gonna help the people or if it's gonna cause more calls to the communication center. Because once you post it, everybody's gonna be wanting them to be the deputy.
Shooting
officer.
radar.
Yeah, and you don't have that many people
Chad,
to sit.
sure.
Another problem with a physical note, I've got one handheld certified modern day radar. And I'm to the point, I'm like Benton, I'm exhausted, and concerned about it. My mom's been on my tail about it. She's been about run over by rock trucks cutting through from Franklin County. And we can send, but I'm limited, you know, we've got, what, 600 and something miles of county roads?
Mm-hmm.
400 and something square miles of county. It is concerning to me. Matter of fact, I had a lady chase me down out here the other day, cause I was 10 mile an hour at the speed limit. And, so, but I don't need about 25 radars to go in these patrol cars, and that's gonna cost you right at $100,000. They're about $4,000 a piece. So, if I will do it, I will start writing tickets. I will fall on the sword. It's probably not gonna be popular for me, but, if it's what it takes to save a life, slow a grain truck down, I'll slow a kid down and save their lives. And if it, you know, sheriffs are not in the traffic business for the, so to speak, because every ticket you write's a vote you lose. But I'd rather lose a vote, lose a life, or get somebody hurt. We're working on a traffic study committee with Benton, and we've got places where we need stop signs, guardrails, and that's good stuff. But like I said, if the body wants to allocate the money, I'll put them in the cars, and we got all kinds of ticket books.
Might be good to address this,
And that would address the 55 mile an hour.
safety grant before we get too carried away too.
Mayor?
Thank you. I was just gonna say that, I'm not, a Tennessee state trooper asked me one day in this building, did we pass a countywide speed limit? And I said, no, we did not. And it was addressed at committee, but never made it to the full body. He said, I just need to know. He said, I can start writing tickets if I know you've passed it. But if you hadn't passed it, I can't. And that's so, it gives the state of Tennessee, the state troopers, the ability to write tickets.
You know, right now, we're all, us and the highway patrol, anybody, we're stuck at 55 mile an hour.
I did find the email, but I gotta go back to my office to forward it to everybody that I've got, that came from TDOT regarding this. I just want y'all to know what I was told.
Okay.
But I'll do whatever the body wants.
You know, with that 35 mile an hour speed zone, state trooper could use it, couldn't they?
think
I
it
mean,
just says
Yeah, that's been passed. And that hasn't been rescinded, has it?
No,
I do not think,
But it's not posted either.
no.
yeah, you'd have to say,
Well, that'd take care of your rock trucks and your
yeah,
grain
but you'd
trucks.
have to put that on every county
Mhm.
road, trucks under 2 tons,
Oh.
speed limit.
Yeah, and it has to say that too.
That's double up
Hmm,
on
okay.
signage.
So you're looking at about 1,200
Yeah, when you do that, you might well go to a 45 for everybody, and still not just count, say, two-ton trucks.
But if you want to address the immediate problem, if I can get the funding, I'll buy the radars. I said didn't wanna do it, but as our population grows, these subdivisions are coming in. We've got a lot of out-of-state folks that are used to, you know, they're blowing our phones up too. But like I said, they're about $4,000 a piece. I don't have a lot of deputies to, you know, I mean, as they're going on calls, if they get somebody at a high speed, they'll turn, I mean, I've gotten out myself and run some radar with the handheld in some key locations.
So you need 25 of them,
Yeah,
that's 100,000.
yeah. Yeah, and that's, that gets the front and rear antenna, and that's the weird thing about on these county roads. That's why the troopers don't really like working the county roads, cause having to turn around. They run what you call moving radar, so it's like meeting them, and then when they see a marked car and turn around, there's a good chance they're gonna take off. But we can still run stationary and moving with them, and, you know, we've got the radar trailer we set up every once in a while.
Right.
We've done some studies, and, you know, the key roads like 16th model, Maple Springs, Fredonia, Perry Plains, Ragsdale, those are your speed demon.
Ragsdale is a
Ragsdale's
speedway.
terrible. You get it's Grundy County bypass. So, Wattendorf, parts of it.
Asbury.
Asbury.
That's a work one.
Yeah, Asbury. technically one certified radar.
Thank you, Sheriff. Yeah, you're over there. That's okay. Glad to have you.
I'm gonna make a motion to send to Budget and Finance to look at financing 10 radars for the next 3 years. In a 3-year period, to buy 30 of them, to where he would at least be able to tell you how fast you're going. Even though our speed limit may be 55, if they catch you at 60, they could write a ticket for that. And that would be $40,000 a year for 3 years.
Hold off on changing the speed limit and keep it at
Well,
55.
he didn't,
right now.
I mean, right now, if we change the speed limit, he has no enforcement that he can do,
Well, he
except for
can-
one radar.
Well, he can, yeah, he
And
can
the
only,
state
he
can
could only
come
do 55.
Mhm.
And everybody's mentality of what they're thinking is 55 is 60.
But 55's not 60.
No, and 45 ain't 50,
Mhm.
but that's what they think.
I know if we lock it down to 45, like down at the lake, on straight stretches, people are not going to stay there. How to get them in, like this traffic study that he's gonna talk about, how to get people to slow down on dangerous roads, that's a choice.
And so, and the only ones that's gonna do it is the honest people. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
So I'll make that in a motion, form of a motion though.
Okay, we got a motion we're gonna send to Budget and Finance to see about getting financing for 10 radars for the next 3 years.
And maybe even look at a grant, cause I'm gonna talk to him.
Yeah, I
about
was gonna
water.
say, there's possibly a grant out there maybe that we can do. And
I'll second that motion.
so we got a motion made by Commissioner Morse, second by
What do,
Laura.
speeding ticket fees go for now? Do they just go back in the general fund, or they go back to the sheriff's office, or does anybody know where those go now? I mean,
I think
could they
it's-
be directed to buy and pay for more?
I think portions are
Split
split.
apart.
And it's like the clerk's office for fees, clerk fees and stuff, and then some goes, to the sheriff's office, you know, for the whoever's writing it, like the state, when they write them. So it's kinda split up into that, but
Okay.
I'm not saying that a portion of it, you know, couldn't be directed somewhere else.
Any more discussion? Do you wanna talk about this right here, while we
Yeah,
got this
if-
motion on,
yeah, we
and
got-
as part of the discussion of it?
Yeah, if you get, if you
Okay.
got, if you
Is
got-
that okay?
If that'll work for y'all. Yeah, everybody's got one of these, I think. If you look on the first page, I'll just read it, it's not but 2 lines. Says the Coffee County Safe Streets and Roads for All Supplemental Action Plan for the Notice of Funding Opportunity, fiscal year 2024. Safe Streets and Roads for All Grant Program has selected for an award of $212,000 in federal funding. This includes funding for supplemental planning. Congratulations. But on the second page here, estimated total project cost is $265,000. Now here's, this is a supplemental. So what we've already got is a $150,000 grant to do a study on how to make, as the thing says, Coffee County Safe Streets and Roads for All. We've got a team of engineers, Collier Engineering, studying Coffee County, all their wrecks, all the places they've got where they've got problems with accidents and any kind of data they can find. And a lot of that's going to have some suggested yellow speed limit signs, suggested speed limits. And it's going to have, and they're looking at that kind of thing. And we've already got some safety grants from the state, which didn't cost us anything. And they're usually around 200 some odd thousand. If you'll notice, some of your roads, main roads are getting reflectors on the light poles and that
Road
type of
signs.
thing. So we're already got that going on. This supplemental is using cars with cameras, and they're gonna use artificial intelligence to, determine what kind of, condition our roads are in.
Mhm.
If you look on the back page, that gives you some ideas of what's gonna go on about their,
I sat in on this grant with them, and to me, it's really cool because it shows them the depth of the base, the depth of the paving, the width of the road, and where damage has occurred underneath all that. So it would give them a tool to go, and I was talking to him this morning, gives them a tool to go into, say, Oak Hill Road. Only a third of it by this study needs to be paved. So instead of them having to go in and pave the whole road, and the people would have to be educated about it. This is why we're only paving part of it. But it shows you the good part of the road and the bad part of the road. Instead of just going in and chipping a whole road, he can go in and spot fix things, and then his stuff goes further. He's gonna
Yeah.
be able to do more with less. And this study will have to be done about every 10 years, I think, right, JoJo? Something like that. Somewhere in there, they go over all his roads. They tell him the width, the depth of it, the damage that's done to it, and it's like a ground penetrating radar, right, Ben? It shows all that.
it's,
So he can tell which roads, not by politics or anything, but which roads are in the worst shape in the county, and then attack them.
Okay.
And then pull back as he goes. And I thought it was really neat
Yeah.
that it's a tool to give them, that he can spread his assets further across the county and take care of more roads instead of just going in and paving the whole, my little road, the whole Roten Road. It only needs the front part done, because that's where the damage is at. Well, we need to go in and talk to the people there. We're only doing the front part of your road because engineers and everybody say that's it. May not look as pretty as the other one, but we're gonna put the money next over here. I think it's a really good thing.
It shows ditches,
Yeah.
signage,
It
guardrails.
picks the signs up too, so he'll know where the signs are.
Everything that relates to the roads.
So he'll know where every
Wow.
sign is in the county to do that.
Now, it says something about a 20% maximum supplement
Match.
that we have to matching. Is that correct? Well, I'd be for this thing if it'll go through the budget, finance committee.
Okay, so right now, we have a motion for the 10 radars, and we probably, I may have jumped the gun with this part, right? We may just want us to talk about this as
You wanna vote on the radars?
I think we need to go ahead and
Okay.
take care of that vote. Let's get that out of the way, because this is important.
Yeah,
I think.
it is really important.
And I wanna address that as a separate item. Is that okay with y'all? Okay. So we got a motion made to go to budget and finance for 10 radars for the next 3 years. I hope that's not mine. Of course it is. Hang on just a second, I'll get rid of this.
265.
We have a motion that's already,
And I second
You
it.
need 50.
and you second, Laura seconded it. So any more discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passed. We need to send that to,
And what he would be asking for would come out of the general fund anyway, cause everybody drives on Coffee County roads,
What is 20% of the?
53,000.
53,000 or 5,300?
53,000.
Thousand,
53,000.
yeah.
Because he's
20% of
He's
the
getting
grant.
255,000.
Okay,
But we can send
Okay.
that to the budget and finance just like we did
Yes.
the other ones.
excuse me, Laura, I messed that up, didn't I?
That's okay.
Which on average, over a 10-year, the life of that study would be $5,300.
Okay, so we're in new business right now, and we're talking about these grants, okay?
Yeah.
And it's been a good discussion so far, and I agree. I think we need to see if budget and finance can't find some money for this to make.
I mean, to get 265,000 to go pay the 20, yeah, I think it needs to go. to
And
finance as well.
you need to come too, explain, because to me, the really value of this is him being able to do more with less.
Yeah.
It's gonna tell him what's wrong with that road at certain points, and your road may be hopscotched, but that's okay.
Yeah.
State does that on
Ain't
the
nothing
interstate
wrong
all
with
the,
the
well, they
road,
do
don't
it
do
on the
nothing with
interstate
it.
all the time. They cut one lane out and they leave the other lane.
Yep.
And that's good management of our, good stewardship of our money, and our roads are in better shape. And he'll know where every street sign's at, the width of the road, and there won't be any, about it.
Am I-
I'm sorry, they've got me double booked. I've got to go next door.
I understand.
But I'm for this.
Well, hang on a minute. I'm gonna make a motion that we ask Budget and Finance if we can come up with some money for Benton Martin.
I'll
Motion
second
made, seconded by Joe Mike. Any more, do we want to discuss it? I'm good with it, so.
I think it will save over the
All right.
lifetime.
No more discussion then, all in favor say aye. Aye.
And it's
Motion
artificial
passed.
intelligence too, so the computers are
didn't mean to
gonna
push
study
anything
it
off.
all and do all that, so.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to drag it that long. I know it's just got that way. Well, is there any other new business that we need to bring up?
How often does Rural Road and Bridge normally?
Yeah, that was something we wanted to ask
Quarterly
you.
maybe, or just
Yeah, you know, there's.
once every 3 or 4 months?
What usually comes up rural road and bridges is speed limits. That's
See
90% of what comes up. And I'm not against, you know, we've got a few roads out in the county that they picked out, and I think I know 2 or 3 that are 35. One of them is, coming down to 41, when you get into Beach Grove, there's a little road that cuts off, if you're coming from Murfreesboro, cuts off to the right and goes behind, and goes over to, Oscar Crowell Road.
Yeah,
That was set at 35, and we have to keep that posted at 35. And there's a few more roads, I think 45 is what's supposed, was a little road up there across, it's in the Hoodoo area.
well, let me bring this out. So if we did change it to 45, and we made a resolution to send it to the full commission at 45, okay, that gets passed. That at least gives the state troopers the opportunity to sit there and start slowing people down.
But
Because
does it have
it's-
to be posted?
Well,
It does.
Well, it seems like that state trooper was asking, was it 45? I don't know if the same one asked Dennis, but it implied to me that he could write a ticket if he knew it was 45. So I don't know if that's right or not. Somebody else needs to tell us about that.
well, I need to find out from Dennis who he was talking about.
Is there any
the
way to
mayor who was
build
talking about.
a questionnaire on our website, our
There's
webpage?
one on there right now.
On the Coffee County
I
website?
wished everybody would look at it, but it's in such a bad place, you have to go into the highway, it needs to be on the front page, on the front. We've only got 131 people that do the survey, and it's, and it's been on there for a month. So I've gotta do a little bit better about
We need
getting
to
where it's
get
seen.
Thunder Radio and Manchester Times to advertise that for you
Yeah,
Yes.
and get it on their Facebook page.
And
Yeah.
he thought that the school website, it needs to be on the school website. He said nobody likes to hear themselves talk any louder than the
That's what he said to
kids'
me, there's
parents.
nothing attached to it.
So,
Well, maybe we could get, see
Yeah.
if the county school system will let us put it on our website. But putting it on Thunder and,
I mean,
that's
there's
what I was
nothing
gonna
there.
ask
Did he
is,
send it to you?
if we could have a questionnaire put up on Thunder and Manchester and, and just ask,
Ask him, what?
how do you feel about a 45-mile-an-hour speed zone?
well, it takes about 15 minutes to do it, and it asks all those questions.
Yeah.
More
Okay.
signs, more guardrails.
We need to write a
lower
little letter to get Dennis to ask Manchester Times and Thunder Radio to get with Benton. And,
Yes.
and get that, what is it called, the URL out?
It's yeah.
I'm not very computer, if I can click on it, I'm good.
You have to let your phone look
And then
at it.
ask him about
QR code is what it is, QR code.
doing a survey of the county people of what they feel that, and I'm sure there'll be blowback on both sides, what the speed limit should be for Coffee County roads. And just
For
have
rural
people's
roads?
input.
It wouldn't hurt to have that on,
Yeah.
whatever kind of survey you wanna do, anywhere else. This
Let
guy right
let the
here,
people talk.
well, this guy right here will use anything we come up with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's looking for the best. That grant that we can get is worth up to I think it's either 12 or $25 million. It's a very expensive
Mm-hmm. And that's
grant.
putting guardrails up, new signage, and that's even changing some of the road structure. Cause
But-
he's talked about that.
But the downside is, if we got 5 million, we have to come up with $1 million.
Mhm.
So, it's tough. That's expensive.
Well, if you don't go to the plate, you can't swing.
Yep.
That's what I've said about my school buses. At least you have to try. If you turn it down, if you turn it away, then at least you've tried.
Yeah,
Well, you can't just do it in Manchester, advertise it in Manchester, you'd have to do it in Manchester and Tullahoma.
Yeah, well, it needs to be everybody in the
Yeah,
county
yeah,
doing
countywide.
Benton survey, because everybody drives on Coffee County roads. If you come from Tullahoma to Manchester on Bradley Creek
so it'd be
Road,
hard to get it on the school website.
I don't know if it would be or not. I'll ask, you recall me,
Michelle-
Martin, and I'll ask
Michelle,
Dr. Powell.
Michelle, of course, she sent out these things too, but she emailed the girl at the school board, secretary up there, if that was possible to do,
Okay,
and sent her the QR code, so we'll follow up with her
Yep,
tomorrow,
okay.
see what she,
You can-
see what she says about it.
Well, when is the next quarter? We want to go ahead and set, we need to go ahead and get our next meeting set.
February. How you doing on salt? Because me and you talked about
I
that.
don't have room to hold anymore,
More.
but, you know, I used up 2 shed fulls last year on that little 1 week snow we had, and it still didn't seem to melt it, so,
It got so cold.
yeah. It got colder.
Well, we definitely don't need to do it on this date, or this week of the month, or, cause every day, 5 meetings.
Oh, that's all right.
But, yeah, we just we'll pick something. You wanna do it in February, right? That's,
February, and we wanna do them on Tuesdays?
I think so. You good with Tuesday?
Got the 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th.
I'm good.
The
Fourth
first-
is good.
The fourth, let's do the first one.
Fourth,
And There's
okay.
not a whole lot going on the very first
Yeah.
one.
No, February 4th.
You,
Okay.
you good with that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
4:30 still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is everybody good with 4:30?
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing February the 4th at 4:30.
Okay.
Okay, all we need is a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Motion
second.
made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Sorry about the road list.
No,
Mess
now we
up.
got it.
That's, we got.
I got 2 more here.
Connie will make